This shit I'm out. This shit I'm out. No thanks, don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. This shit I'm out. No.
I'm gonna talk about major indignities. Man, I'll show you indignities. Kamala Harris losing a debate with herself. Whew. Okay, so after all of the backup that she's gotten, after all the celebrities' endorsements, after all of the glory hole media treatment that she's been given, Kamala Harris is still incapable of winning a debate against herself on CNN. This was an excruciating and total humiliation. A town hall last night hosted by CNN with hand-selected, as far as we know, Kamala campaign staffers asking her the questions. These are Kamala supporters in the audience, hand-picked by CNN to prop up the failing, nightmarish, Hindenburg-level disaster of the Kamala Harris campaign. And Kamala still found it possible to not answer a question, to be a nuclear cringe device, and to start arguing with her own supporters. Oh, it is a delicious, delicious rundown. Check this out. This is amazing. Democrat strategists damning three-word verdict on Kamala Harris' performance in critical town hall. Oh, yeah, baby. Kamala Harris branded Donald Trump a fascist and got flustered when confronted about whether the border wall was stupid during a high-stakes CNN town hall just 13 days from the election. But it was Harris's inability to provide clear answers on both domestic and foreign policy and trademark meandering responses throughout the 90-minute session that left even CNN's left-leaning panelists ripping her afterwards. Veteran Democrat strategist David Axelrod, who helped get Barry Obama elected and served as one of the top advisors, summed up Harris's performance with the catchphrase of the night: "Word salad city." Oh, man. Yeah, so CNN bodying Harris like it was a like it was WWE. I can't. These clips are really remarkable. Harris stood before the undecided voters in the swing district of Delaware County, Pennsylvania, where new polls has shown that Donald Trump has taken the lead. Also, Donald Trump taking the lead nationally today, at +3 in a Wall Street Journal poll, and unbelievable. While she hoped to gain an edge with undecided voters in the Keystone State via the town hall performance, post-game critiques told another story. The debate against herself was panned as a massive loss for Kamala Harris. But let's continue and begin with the hoaxes against President Trump. Could you imagine telling people that democracy needs to be saved and that you're on the side of democracy and then calling your opponent a fascist? Like, what does that even say about democracy? That like an actual true fascist would be able to get the lead party's nomination. And then if you actually study what fascism means, from the follow-up question here is define fascism. Because if you define fascism academically, then what you'd see is fascism is the fusion of corporations and the state in order to oppress people. And there's only one political ideology that supports that. And you can see it in practice. Just look as far as the Twitter files, the Facebook files. Look as far as what they're doing to Elon Musk, the insane lawfare. There's not like a single government agency that isn't going after Elon Musk right now. The actual fascists are Kamala Harris. The correct question. So Anderson Cooper goes, "Is Donald Trump a fascist?" Like I love the way that they ask these questions. When did you stop beating your wife? You can't answer that, right? Like so hey, when did you stop beating your wife? Like you're not allowed to, the bias is baked into the question itself. So the damage is done by the asking of the question. This is how completely cucked Anderson Cooper is. Anderson Cooper got destroyed last night. Of course, he's a little trust fund baby. Anderson Cooper doesn't care. He's a complete bitch. But this is just a grotesque line of questioning to begin. And it's like, it's funny. You have to laugh at it because it just shows the absolute pandering desperation of the corporate press. Here we go.
Do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I also believe that the people who know him best on this subject should be trusted.
You believe Donald Trump is anti-Semitic?
I believe Donald Trump is a danger to the well-being and security of America.
What is fascism? Is the correct next question. Oh, okay, you just called your opponent a thing. Define it. What is it? Because fascism definitionally is exactly what the corporate Democrat Party is doing now, and has completely and totally fused with corporate America in order to oppress the rest of us. So the two biggest forces in a country, massive multinational corporations plus the federal government fusing together to oppress us. That is the definition of fascism. Talk to any political academic. Which party does that sound like exactly? The Fortune 500 CEOs, which parties do they align with? The banking system, the judicial system, Hollywood, entertainment, music industry, sports industry. What are they all run by? You tell me who's fascist. You jackals. Luckily, we have the people on our side, and that's all that matters, actually. Kamala Harris refuses to answer if she is for a wall. This is the most humiliating clip of the night. She's said, you called the wall stupid and said you wanted to tear it all down. Now you say you want to build more wall. What the hell's wrong with you?
Under Donald Trump, you criticized the wall more than 50 times. You called it stupid, useless, and a medieval vanity project. Is a border wall stupid?
Well, let's talk about Donald Trump and that border wall.
But you're agreeing to a bill
on.
that would earmark $650 million to continue building that wall.
I pledge that I am going to bring forward that bipartisan bill to further strengthen and secure our border. Yes, I am. And I'm going to work across the aisle to pass a comprehensive bill that deals with a broken immigration system. I think Jackson's question, part of it was to acknowledge that America has always had migration, but there needs to be a legal process for it. People have to earn it. And that's the point that I think is the most important point that can be made, which is we need a president who is grounded in common sense and practical outcomes. Like, let's just fix this thing. Let's just fix it. Why is there any ideological perspective on this? Let's just fix the problem.
To fix the problem, you're doing this compromise bill. It does call for $650 million that was earmarked under Trump to actually still go to build the wall.
I am not afraid of good ideas where they occur.
So you don't think it's stupid anymore?
I think what he did and how he did it did not make much sense, because he actually didn't do much of anything. I just talked about that wall, right? We just talked about it. He didn't actually do much of anything.
But you do want to build some wall.
I want to strengthen our border.
I don't know how to describe Kamala Harris other than suburban wine mom, 3 times divorced, in a minivan, like trying to do her makeup, talking into her rearview mirror, like probably shouldn't be driving. 3 o'clock in the afternoon. To happy hour. Like, none of it makes any sense. All of it is so humiliating. Kamala has no good advisors. All of her DEI advisors, everyone who's still left on Kamala's staff, everyone's left, right? So Kamala's the most toxic and worst boss. Everyone's left. She has a 95% staff turnover. These were articles that were written back when they were trying to sabotage Kamala and not Joe Biden. The articles written about Kamala Harris is that that no one stays on her staff. No one. Plus 95% staff turnover. So anyone who's good or anyone who's competent have all left. The only people left are like the brat summer people. Like the people that think it was like a good idea to make Kamala a meme. She has no actual policy. She has no actual strategy. She has no capacity to synthesize her talking points into a worldview, because hours earlier she was talking about amnesty. Look.
Right now, we're talking about border security, and there's no Democrat talking about pathway to citizenship, an immigration relief, and the benefits that migrants bring to this country.
Oh, but there's no question that migrants bring. America is a country that was built in part by immigrants.
But people are concerned about their TPS, their DACA, we're talking about mass deportations.
I'm not talking about.
What do you stand on mass deportations? What's your stand there?
We need smart, humane, immigration policy in America that includes a pathway to citizenship.
I'm surprised Kamala Harris didn't answer by saying, "Are you okay? Are you okay? I love you back." We love Kamala Harris's Latinx. You could tell she was so close to doing the accent. She was so close. You could tell she was like, oh, it was like everything inside of her. She was like trying to hold it back. She was so close to doing the accent. I love you back. We've seen it. I love her Latinx accent. Oh, okay. So an hour earlier, she's saying she wants full amnesty for 30 million illegals. And then the next hour on CNN, she says she wants to build the wall. Got it. Ladies and gentlemen, this one's really tough. Last night, we led the entire stadium in a Christ is King chant because Kamala Harris kicked out a Christian from her rally for yelling Jesus Christ is King. Now, I don't know what faith Kamala Harris is a part of. I don't think it's the Christian faith. I got to be perfectly honest with you. I see no indication of that. I mean, there's plenty of videos of her celebrating Kwanzaa. Somebody should ask, quite frankly. I don't know. Okay? I don't know. I know her mother was Hindu. I know she married into a Jewish family. But Kamala was asked about her faith last night. And I got to tell you, we want to talk about an answer that was lacking. She was this close to saying, "You're not welcome here," right? Remember that she did that with a Christian at the rally. Someone yells Christ is King, and she goes, "You're not welcome here. You need to go to the other smaller rally down the street." Oh, okay. Well, thank you. When somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Here's Kamala Harris last night. What exactly is your faith about? Here we go.
But I just called him. I needed that spiritual kind of connection. I needed that advice. I needed a prayer. And there's a part of the scripture that talks about Esther and a time such as this, and that's what we talked about. And it was very comforting for me. And
do you pray every day?
I do pray every day. I do pray every day, sometimes twice a day. I grew up. So we grew up a little neighborhood church in Oakland, 23rd Avenue Church of God, and I was raised to believe in a loving God, to believe that your faith is a verb. You know, you live your faith, and that the way that one should do that is that your work and your life's work should be to think about how you can serve in a way that is uplifting other people, that is about caring for other people. And that guides a lot of how I think about my work and what is important.
What does that even mean? If you ask me about my faith, I'm like, why are these clips so long? Like, you're like yelling, we're like talking, the production crew, we're like in a little hotel room. Like, why the hell are these clips so long? If you ask me about my faith, it's very simple. I can tell you about my faith in exactly less than 3 seconds. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Christ is King. The end. That even 2 seconds? 1 second. I can do it. Simple. I don't need 97 seconds of mewling and word salad shooters to like tell you about my faith. That's when you're lying. Honey, where were you last night? Well, you better sit down. Let me explain. 31 minutes later. You're lying, right? Like, you're lying. All right? It's very simple. If you were where you should have been last night, you just said, "Oh, I stopped by 7-Eleven, I picked up some milk, I came home." How long did that take? Why does it take Kamala Harris minutes on end to explain her faith? No, bro. The faith is actually simple, okay? Faith traditions are quite simple. That's why they're faith. They're founded upon faith. That's what faith means, in fact, right? Simple truths and how we organize our lives. Whew, baby. Man, that's a tough one. Never says the name of Jesus Christ. Do we have that Christ is King clip? Let me grab that Christ is King chant from last night because it was fun. That was really fun. You know, we were like, well, you know what? If Kamala's kicking Christians out, I know where they can all go. Come on, boys. How is Donald Trump even, how is Kamala Harris even close, is my question. Listen to this next, listen to this next clip. How is Kamala Harris even close? Kamala Harris calling herself a nerd in one response, saying that she won't be able, this is an incredible setup. This is an incredible setup. If your wife asks you, where were you last night? And you tell your wife, well, I'm not going to be able to give you a straight answer. I'm going to need some time to figure that one out. Brother, my brother in Christ, you're either sleeping on the couch or you're never going back to that home ever again, okay? That's not a good way to answer a question. Where were you last night? I'm going to need to do some research on that, and I'll get back with you. I'm a nerd. This is what Kamala Harris is. Okay, so this is what Kamala Harris's answer actually was. Here we go. This is what she's telling the American voters. Go.
So I may not be quick to have the answer as soon as you ask it about a specific policy issue sometimes, because I'm going to want to research it. I'm going to want to study it. I'm kind of a nerd sometimes, I confess.
Your marriage is over if you answer a question like that. I've been happily married for going on 8 years. Your marriage is over if you answer a question like that. I can't answer that for you. I'm kind of a nerd. Oh, boy, brother, you are in the doghouse. You are cooked, boy. Have you ever made a mistake? Like, compare this again. We are in a relationship, in a sense, with our federal government. It's something that we have to interact with. The leaders, the decisions they make have consequences on us and our households. You would never be able to get away with this in your relationship. You'd never be able to, like, if somebody asks you if you made a mistake, like if you approach the relationship as though you've never made a mistake and you're infallible, you're doomed. Trust me on that. Like, view it through that lens. Have you ever made a mistake? Like, as a moral human being, like the step one is admitting that actually you're an alcoholic, right? Like the 12-step program in AA. The first step of actually being a decent human is admitting you're not perfect. Kamala Harris, have you ever made a mistake? Listen to this answer. Tell me, what a toxic, putrid, green sludge, primordial ooze that would turn in like Ninja Turtles if you dumped it into the sewer. Like what is this that is swimming around Kamala Harris? Like, imagine being in a relationship with this person. Have you ever made a mistake? Go.
Is there something you can point to in your life, political life, or in your life in the last 4 years that you think is a mistake that you have learned from?
I mean, I've made many mistakes, and they range from, if you've ever parented a child, you make lots of mistakes too. In my role as vice president, I mean, I've probably worked very hard at making sure that I am well versed on issues, and I think that is very important. It's a mistake not to be well versed on an issue and feel compelled to answer a question.
It's a mistake not to be well versed on issues to answer a question. If you are in a relationship with somebody that can't say if they've ever made a mistake or claims to be perfect, or that their only mistake is that they're not well versed on issues, or lies about raising a child, okay? Lies about raising a child, and we'll get to Doug Emhoff in a second. Believe that. Kamala Harris doesn't have kids. She doesn't have kids, all right? That's just a matter of fact. That's a choice. Would you lie about that? What are you talking about? Julie Kelly making such a great point the other day on the program that is why she's so cruel and indifferent when other people's children get murdered. And that's why parents have such a visceral reaction to Kamala Harris. If you support Kamala Harris, I mean, parents, there is no reason that if you're a parent, this should be like the screaming red warning sign. Not to support somebody like this who cackles and laughs when confronted with the death of people's children, as she was confronted on Fox News. Remember how she said she's sorry about the death of people that were killed by criminal aliens? But Kamala goes, but it was a nightmare. Even CNN saying it's a nightmare. Here's the architect of the Barack Obama administration, David Axelrod, who admittedly is a very smart person, saying, word salad city, disaster.
She doesn't want to answer a question. Her habit is to kind of go to word salad city, and she did that on a couple of answers. One was on Israel. Anderson asked a direct question, would you be stronger on Israel than Trump? And there was a 7-minute answer, but none of it related to the question he was asking.
Focused a lot more on Donald Trump, I think it's fair to say, than she did on many specifics in terms of what she would do as president.
Well, I'll just tell you what I'm hearing from people who I have been talking to, and that is that if her goal was to close the deal, they're not sure she did that.
Meanwhile, Donald Trump is speaking to a stadium, a sports arena of people. Electric last night joined on stage with Tucker Carlson, Tulsi Gabbard, and RFK Jr. live. Oh, come on. And shouting out your boy. What a great contrast. Couldn't do better. Scott Jennings, one of my all-time favorite commentators, talking on CNN last night, saying effectively every single time that Kamala Harris speaks, she cuts a new Trump ad. Go.
It probably will shock Kamala Harris and the rest of her campaign staff to learn that there are incumbent Democrat U.S. senators in this country right now running television ads touting all their work with this modern-day Hitler. I wonder if Kamala Harris tonight in our town hall meeting will call for them to take these ads off the air, touting their work with this Hitler. I mean, if he were really Hitler, if he were really a threat to democracy, not a single Democrat in this country would be running ads touting their work with Donald Trump.
That's exactly right. Chuck Schumer sitting next to Hitler, laughing just the other night. I don't know if we can grab those photos, but we talked about them earlier this week on the show. Chuck Schumer like laughing and yucking it up with Donald Trump, like hugging and embracing Donald Trump, like smiling, patting each other on the back. Wow. Chuck Schumer's Jewish, by the way. And here he is dining with Hitler. Ooh, seems like a very bad thing for Chuck Schumer to do. That happened just the other night. Here we go. This is a punch on the, wow, look at that. What a reaction to Hitler, Chuck. Goodness. Let's go to the next one. Oh, wow. Oh, no. Having what looks like a milky coffee with Hitler. Uh-oh. Dun, 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 dun.